Coral Ocean, the Bannenberg classic reborn for modern quiet luxury. What if I told you the most powerful luxury aboard Coral Ocean isn't the spa pool or the helipad? It's a design decision you can't quite name from the dock? Stick around. By the end, I'll reveal the single choice that explains why this 72-meter Lürssen feels calmer, photographs cleaner, and quietly keeps guests on board longer than rivals that shout louder on paper. Why this yacht still matters. Coral Ocean isn't new money splash, she's pedigree. John Bannenberg lines over German steel, delivered by Lürssen in the 90s, reborn after a recent no-shortcuts refit. You feel it the second you step on teak. The silhouette reads timeless. Long, unbroken horizontals, a superstructure that seems to float, and glass that's there to frame the water, not fight it. The mission is simple and rare. Make a week at sea feel like a private resort you already know how to use. That means sightlines that relax your shoulders, acoustics that drop the room noise without killing the vibe, and a deck plan that's about living, not parading. If you've ever compared spec champions and wondered why some boats don't translate to real life, this is your proof. Coral Ocean trades headline gimmicks for decisions that make hours flow. Side deck choreography crew can actually work with, dining terraces that don't steal the horizon, and a beach club zone that captures the best light at the right time of day. It's all the small, adult choices, done at scale, that add up to ease. Origin and refit. How a legend learned new tricks. Launched in 1994 and known to insiders as one of Bannenberg's defining statements, Coral Ocean returned to the yard for a top-to-bottom transformation. The exterior remained faithful to the original lines, but the living experience was rebuilt where it counts. Sundeck geometry opened up, glass balustrades cleaned the view, spa and wellness spaces became a real routine instead of a brochure promise, and service circulation was tightened so staff can be invisible when they should be and present the instant you want something. The result is that rare second act, heritage design with a modern heartbeat. You feel it most in motion. Furniture sits dead level underway. Doors close with that heavy Lürssen hush. Wind management is civilized enough that you can eat while cruising without playing defense with napkins. And at night, the lighting warms rather than shouts, so every dinner looks like good memory material straight out of the camera roll. Dimensions you can feel, translated into comfort. On paper, you're looking at roughly 72.5 meters in length. Call it 238 to 239 feet, with a beam just over 13 meters and a draft in the low 12-foot range. That buys real room to breathe. 7 guest staterooms for up to a dozen at night, serviced by a professional crew in the low 20s. Translation: you can run parallel days without stepping on each other's plans. Coffee on the aft terrace while workouts happen forward. Kids in the water when a quiet Zoom needs to happen upstairs. A sit-down dinner for 12 that doesn't require gymnastics to pass plates or hold a conversation. Inside, the design language is luxury that doesn't beg. Pale stones, honest wood, and soft geometry keep the atmosphere human, not museum precious. The salon invites you to spread out books and devices without feeling like you're messing up a set. Carpets absorb just enough footfall to cue hotel quiet without turning the room into a padded cell. And the glazing works with daylight instead of blasting you with glare, so afternoon reads last longer than your patience. Exterior life, where the week actually happens. Walk the stern, and you understand why this boat earns return guests. The beach club heart beats at water level, So swims happen spontaneously, not as an expedition. Steps lead you up to a shaded lounge that doesn't steal the view from the dining table. Up another level, terraces act like outdoor rooms, with wind under control, so you can linger underway. The spa pool up top isn't a lonely crown. It's integrated into a sun lounge that flips cleanly from midday bronzing to cocktail hour without a furniture ballet. My favorite micro moment happens at golden hour. The pool glass picks up the same color temperature as the horizon. The rail heights feel protective, but not prison-like. And the sound mix drifts toward wake and laughter. Not diesel and door thunks. It's the picture you keep. But more importantly, it's the one you want to live again next season. Performance and range. Numbers that show up as ease. Underway, Coral Ocean is all unhurried competence. Twin Caterpillar diesels deliver a top end around 17 knots, but the sweet spot is a low teens displacement pace, where the noise floor drops and everyone forgets they're on a machine. With long-leg tankage and a published reach in the approximately 6,000 nautical mile neighborhood at efficient speed, the boat isn't chained to the next fuel dock. That translates into actual routing options, season chasing without drama, weather windows with options, and captains who can choose calm over calendar panic. Range bragging is nothing without ride quality. Here, stabilization and mass do their quiet work. Glassware keeps its nerve, dinner conversation stays unforced, and the gym right above the waterline, revealed by that clever fold-down hatch, turns into a daily habit because it feels like part of the ocean, not an afterthought. The cabin story. Privacy without formality. Owners' domains on yachts this size can feel like stage sets. Coral Ocean treats it like a true apartment. A bedroom that closes off with a door. Dressing that functions like a boutique. Bath spaces that relax without gold leaf noise. And adjacency to wellness zones so your morning routine doesn't collide with breakfast traffic. VIP and guest suites are honestly sized, acoustically buffered from main thoroughfares, and bathed in daylight that doesn't punish your eyes. On a 7-night charter, that's what converts watch time into real life. People sleep well, laugh more, and leave talking about how the boat just felt right. Money talk, ownership reality, and charter logic. Viewers love price myths, so let's be adults. Replacement value logic for a modern Northern European build in this bracket lives in 9-figure territory before you customize a thing. But the real number that matters is the one that keeps the boat perfect. Crew, maintenance cycles, insurance, berthing, fuel, and logistics. Stack those line items, and you're in 8-figure annual territory on a yacht of this pedigree. Charter rates tell the same story from another angle. Coral Ocean sits in a top-tier weekly band that filters for clients who value frictionless weeks, rapid tenders that don't waste daylight, a helipad that gifts you an hour, and hotel quiet nights that make 7 days feel like 10. If you're comparing platforms strictly as price per foot, you'll miss the plot. The premium here buys time you actually enjoy using, not square footage you photograph twice and then work around for the rest of the week. Where she beats the pack. In a class stuffed with volume monsters and headline seekers, Coral Ocean wins on livability. Against newer, louder shapes, she reads confident, not thirsty. Against pure speed chasers, she trades knots you'll never use for spaces you'll use every hour. And against VIP airliner conversions at anchor, she quietly reminds you why a purpose-built yacht flows better for private life at sea. If you're a business jet person, think of it as choosing cabin pressure, ride quality, and a wing you trust over a brochure, Mach, you'll almost never need. That's how Tuesdays get better. Also, because we have to make at least one bad joke. Yes, the chef can plate restaurant-grade food at Anchor. No, your trainer will not sign off on the third dessert. Consider it a controlled trial, in the name of science. A day you'll actually live. Morning swim at sea level, the step between deck and water as natural as a backyard plunge. Coffee upstairs, breeze present, but polite. Tender run that looks cinematic and feels easy because the garage choreography is dialed. Lunch under shade where the horizon behaves like wallpaper. Nap in a suite that breathes properly because the climate is tuned, not aggressive. Late afternoon laps in a spa pool that doesn't feel like an afterthought. Dinner on the upper terrace where conversation doesn't fight the wind. Nightcap in a salon that glows warm and lets the outside stay outside. Sleep. Wake up already planning your return. Who Coral Ocean is really for. If you want the loudest silhouette in Monaco, other boats will chase your camera. If you want a week where 12 people can run parallel lives without friction, this is your lane. Families that travel with staff and still crave privacy live well here. Founders who need real working zones and a reset-ready wellness routine live well here. Friend groups who prefer calm competence to neon theater live well here. The through line is simple. This is the boat that fades into the background, so your life can move to the foreground. The reveal. Here's the decision you came for. Coral Ocean's decisive luxury isn't a single object. It's the choice to engineer visual and acoustic noise out of the day. Bannenberg's long horizontals, the refit's cleaner glass, the sun deck redesign, the structural damping, the hotel load isolation. Together, they lower the weight your eyes and ears carry. That's why the yacht reads lighter than her numbers, why the camera loves her from any angle, and why guests swear the week felt longer. You can't Instagram that choice. You can feel it in every minute you don't spend compensating for a bad plan. Before you click away. If this deep dive helped you see past the spec sheet into what actually makes a yacht livable, hit subscribe so YouTube brings you our next premiere. Members get early looks, design breakdowns, and refit diaries. Tap Join. And if this episode saved you 3 evenings of research or gave you a new way to think about quiet luxury, drop a super thanks. I'll shout out the sharpest supporter comment on screen next week. Your turn. Would you trade a knot of top speed for a boat that lands you calmer? Or is maximum spec the whole game? Tell me why. The best take gets featured.